everybody, my name is Max. Welcome back or to my channel. I post every Friday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and stick around for all my future videos. Today we're going to be looking at the Canon Content Creator Kit. Likes, my dislikes, pros, cons, and if I feel like you should buy this kit, either as a new YouTuber or someone who's been on YouTube for a while and is looking to upgrade from maybe your phone or something. Quick disclaimer, if I am looking down in this general direction, just know that I have my notes pulled up here on my laptop, so I just want to just so you know I'm saying the right thing. I will be showing you in-depth shots of everything, so if I scooch over to the side, I'm going to pop it up here or just on the screen. We're also going to talk about things that I feel are important to invest in after you get this kit. I've had this kit for about a year at this point and been like properly using it for YouTube for like 6 or 7 months, I'd say. So since I've been using it for like 6 or 7 months, I feel like I'm a little like qualified, I guess, to give a review on this. I just know my experience and I've seen other people's experiences, and I figured I'd just give you my take on it because I am a very small YouTuber, and for other people looking to upgrade their gear, maybe I figured who better than to let you know if this is a good camera than another small YouTuber. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. Also, I fucking hurt my finger getting my tripod out. Now I have a blister and it really hurts. So if I'm messing with that, that's why it really fucking hurts. Quick disclaimer, I do not have the original packaging that it came in. Again, I've had it for about a year, so I don't have all the original boxes and everything that it came in, but I will pop up some photos as I'm talking. Chances are if you're watching this video, you know what the packaging looks like. So let's start with the first and most important part of this kit, which is obviously the camera. The camera is a Canon EOS M200, and it is a point and shoot camera. It's super user friendly and easy to navigate, especially for like a first time camera user. Whether you're getting this for photography or vlogging or literally just anything, really, I feel like this is a really good starting camera. Maybe not for the price, which I will get into. It is a little expensive, like the whole kit altogether. There's people outside. It's a downside to living in an apartment, I guess. Anyway, for me, I had no prior camera experience besides the ones that my mom would buy, like just to like take photos and stuff of our school events. So I was really skeptical on whether I'd actually be able to use this camera to its full potential, and I am filming on it right now. Just a quick disclaimer, I am lucky enough to have another one right here with me that is my friend's, that I will be using in this review. So if you're wondering how I'm filming this, that's how. So, and also if you're wondering about the video quality, it's just so you know. But like I mentioned before, it's super user friendly and again easy to navigate, and it even gives you the option, I believe, for an assisted like navigation of the menu, or a simplified version of it. So if you're really like a super beginner and you don't know how to navigate the menu, or you don't want to mess with all the settings, that's a really good option to have for navigating your camera. Okay, so now it's time to break down the parts of this camera. So I have the camera here, and we're just gonna break down some of the parts of it. I do not have the lens attached. Let me attach that really quick, but this is what the camera looks like just on its own without the lens. Again, this is my friend's camera, so I'm really lucky to have this and to be able to use it for this review right now. Adrian, if you're watching this, thank you. I won't break it. But yeah, again, super compact, and this is without the lens on it. It looks a lot smaller without the lens on it, obviously, but yeah, so let me put the lens on this and we'll hop right into that review. So basically how you put the lens on, it'll tell you in the instructions, but you just basically match up this white dot to this white dot on the lens, attach it there, and then turn it, and then it locks in. So now with the lens attached, this is what it looks like. First off is the lens. It's a 15 to 45 millimeter lens, I believe. Yep, 15 to 45. It is detachable. So if you need to store it or anything, or if it breaks by any chance, you can always just pop it off and get a new one. Unlike other cameras, kind of like the G7X, or I've seen other Canon cameras where the lens is built in, so if it breaks you kind of have to replace the whole camera or pay the same amount just to get it fixed. So I honestly really like having the bigger lens and the detachable lens. At first I didn't like it. I thought it looked really fucking stupid having this giant thing on this tiny thing, but I've gotten more used to it as time has gone on, and I actually really enjoy having it. It also is a I can't remember the correct term for this, but you can fast zoom on it. You can control the speed of the zoom. Again, unlike other cameras, kind of like the G7X, where it's just this little like thing that you pull up here and it zooms super slow. Again, I didn't think that was something that I was really gonna like at first. I thought like it didn't really matter, like zoom is zoom, but as using this camera, it's great. Trust me, you will want a camera that has a fast zoom, so if something happens while you're recording, you can just really quickly zoom in, or if like there's a bird on a tree that you want to fucking take a picture of before it takes off, you can really quickly zoom in and take a good shot of it. It's really handy to have if you're wanting to take something seriously and you want to have like good shots and everything. The camera also has a pop-up flash, which is pretty common when it comes to cameras. So the little button's right here and you just push it and it pops up like this. Like I said, this is pretty common in a lot of cameras, but the thing that's different about this one, or at least that I haven't seen in another camera, is that you can actually angle this back. So, and no, it doesn't break it, it's meant to do that. It's so you can bounce the lighting off of the surroundings and get a more natural kind of light, because you know when you use flash it gets that really harsh lighting on it. With that flash and being able to angle it in different ways, you can get really natural lighting in really unnatural areas, if that makes sense. Next, and probably the most important feature to me, is this flip up lens viewfinder, not lens finder. The flip up viewfinder. If you're anything like me and you're super paranoid about whether you're getting the right shot literally anytime, this is super handy. And now that I've had it, I will never have one that does not have it. It's just super handy to have. Even now, like I'm looking at it right now on my camera and I have it open and I can see whether I'm recording, if it's focused or not, and how long I've been recording, and so on and so forth. It's just super handy to have, and I will never buy a camera without it. If you're going to be doing any sort of vlog style content, I would highly suggest this, even if you're just holding it. Like, if this makes sense, it's just right above here, and it's just super easy to use. So something that I don't really see a lot of people talking about with this camera in their videos, in their reviews, is the camera's ability to flip video from horizontal to vertical. I have had my troubles with this, and we will get into that more later in the video, but it automatically, like if you take a photo like this, obviously it's horizontal, but if you take a photo like this, and you have it in the settings turned on, it'll go vertical, and same thing with video. So if you're recording for TikTok or anything like that, or any just vertical footage of any sort, that's a really handy feature to have. I haven't seen anybody ever really talk about it in a video. So a few small things I want to mention before moving on about this camera. It does have an internal microphone with pretty decent quality. That's what I'm using right now. I don't use anything else. I feel like it's perfectly fine. The only problem is like when you go out in windy areas, but I will give you some tips later on in the video on how to relieve some of the wind problems, so just stay tuned for that. You're also able to send photos and videos from your camera directly to your phone via an app. Again, we will talk about that later more in depth in the video, so just stay tuned and I'll give you all the information you need to know about the app, and I'll also try to have it linked below if I can do that. I don't know if I can or not. Another little thing is this camera also has a separate spot for the SD card. There's not one in this camera yet, but it has a separate spot for the SD card than the battery slot, which isn't gonna be a deal breaker for a lot of people, but it's really handy when your camera's on a tripod and you're in the middle of filming and your SD card gets full, or you want to switch over to another one. It's just handy because then you don't have to take your whole camera off of the stand just to open up that battery spot and pop in another SD card. It's right there on the side and really convenient. So with those things about the camera out of the way, just like the basics of the camera, we're gonna move on to the next item, which is the tripod grip that comes in the case. So I love this little thing. It's not like your average tripod, you know, like tripods, they just like open up, you set them down and you pop a camera on them, right? But this one, it comes with this little remote. If it'll focus on it. It comes with this little remote, and this will help you control your videos and your photos from further away without having to physically touch the camera. Like mine, I'm using to film this video right now because my camera is really, like, it's like across the table, so I can't obviously reach it without standing up. But with this, you're able to, on the side of it, pick whether it's photo or video that you want to control, autofocus, and a bunch of other things. You'll just go into the settings, click Bluetooth, and then it's just super easy Bluetooth connection, obviously. So without the remote, the tripod by itself is really nice. And if it didn't come with it, I would still highly recommend this tripod. It's super small and compact, even for my tiny hands. I feel like it's just like a really good size, especially to hold while vlogging. And also this tripod can move in a lot of different ways. Like I can angle it front and back, and I can twist this around completely. So it's really easy to get like vertical shots, horizontal shots, and a bunch of different angles that you need. So the tripod also does come with these few attachments that you can just slide together, and these are for holding like an external mic or maybe lighting, and they just slide right in there like that. So when you're vlogging, it'll be on the side of your camera. Sadly, this camera does not have a spot to put an external mic on the camera itself, but they did think of that, and they did give you these few little attachments to put on there. By this point, you may be asking if you've seen any other reviews of this camera. Max, I thought you couldn't attach external microphone to this camera. It doesn't even have an aux input for it. Well, if you want to know the answer to that question, make sure you stay tuned for later on in this video, for when we discuss how you can actually get an external mic, if it's even possible, and why nobody talks about it. So the next thing that the kit comes with is an SD card. It comes with a 32GB SD card. For me, I only use this for photos, just because whenever I try to film with this SD card, it always fills up super fast. If you're first starting, it's really good to have, and it's really good that they include it in the kit, especially with the little case that it comes in, but it's just not, it's not enough storage, at least in my opinion. I have filled it up before, but I do highly recommend, like, if you are serious about YouTube, that you invest in at least another 32. So the last few items that come in the kit, if I'm not missing anything, if I am, just comment down below, let me know and I'll clear that up. But it does come with a battery. It only comes with one. It does come with the lens cap for both sides, for storing, and it also comes with one to put on for when you take the lens off of the camera. It does come with a neck strap, just a basic Canon neck strap. It also comes with a wrist strap. I do not have that. It is on my camera, and my friends did not come with one because it was bought secondhand. And I believe that's all that comes with the kit. Obviously, the owner's manual and everything that I'll walk you through. I don't think I'm missing anything, but again, if I am, comment down below and let me know, and I'll clear any confusion up. I am forgetting something. It also does come with the battery charger. It's just one that plugs into the wall. You pull that out, you can push it back in, and it does charge one battery. And it does tell you when it's full and when it is charging. So, now with that out of the way, let's talk about tips and tricks and accessories for after you buy this camera and that I feel will help you in your YouTube journey, yeah, or maybe TikTok journey. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Attaching an external mic. As I had mentioned, that it comes with these attachments that you can just stick on here, and it allows you to attach an external mic to the tripod. And you know, maybe you think like, well, maybe they added it on accident. Maybe they did. But I watched a video from a girl, I'll have her YouTube right up here. I watched her video after buying this camera, and it turns out you actually can have an external mic. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me this. In no other review have I seen this talked about. You can have an external mic. All you have to do is get an adapter for it. Who is gonna tell me? Obviously her. Obviously she told me. But she addresses in her video that you actually can just get the adapter and plug it into one of the slots on the camera. You just have to make sure you get the right one. And then you can attach it to the external microphone, and it'll allow you to use it with absolutely no problem. I know, like, this just seems like common sense, but I haven't seen it in any other review that's on YouTube. I watched a sorry, I can't say that. I watched a lot before and after getting this camera. I only discovered this part of it after I bought mine. And obviously with someone with no prior like camera experience isn't gonna think, like, they're just gonna, like I did, watch all these videos on YouTube and just take people saying that you can't have one like it's like gospel or something, you know? Obviously you don't need an external mic. I use the internal mic. It works perfect for my kind of content. But if you're doing anything else, maybe ASMR or like more film quality videos, you might want a better quality audio. So while we're on the topic of microphones, I want to give you a little tip on what you might get if you don't want to spend all that money on an external mic, or you don't think it's worth it. What I want to suggest is a mic muff for the internal microphone. I have not purchased one of these, but I am going to. I had a video all filmed out. I went to the beach with my boyfriend. It was a windy day. Got home, went to edit the footage, and none of it was usable. I could not use a single bit of the audio because it was so windy that you couldn't hear us talk. So a mic muff is just something that you can, it's either a stick-on or a Velcro, and it's just a little fuzz ball basically that goes on top of the mic and reduces the wind that gets to the mic. I would also like to highly suggest that you get an extra battery. Lastly, I'd like to recommend, if you have any trouble with your wrists or anything like that, like me, I have tendonitis. My tendons are really easily inflamed. A wrist strap or a better grip, or even just using the tripod more than just holding the camera normally, because as you can see on the camera, it doesn't have anything for your fingers to like hook onto, and it only has this little groove for your thumb back here, so this can get really like straining on the wrist. Having the tripod, it's really helpful because this is easier than, you know, obviously holding the camera, anything like that. I would highly suggest just like protecting your wrists. It's not something I see everybody talking about, but it's something that I never thought about before I started recording and starting filming YouTube videos. So before moving on to my dislikes, I would like to quickly mention the Canon app. So the app is really convenient, okay? And it's really helped me with a lot of problems that I've had with the camera, honestly. And without it, I would be stuck with unusable footage sometimes. So finally, on to my dislikes or the cons about this camera, and if I think you should really invest in this camera. I don't have too many dislikes on this kit, honestly. I obviously don't have much to compare it to, but as always, a few things do come to mind. First is the auto flipping feature. The auto flipping feature. So I mentioned that this is something that I've never seen in the camera before, and it is really handy for like taking pictures or TikTok content or whatever you're using vertical footage for. But for me, it's a little buggy, especially when I start recording. So for some reason, my video editing software, and maybe this is just me, when I upload a vertical video file to it, it tries to stretch it into a horizontal, but then just ends up distorting the whole picture. I would be left with footage that I couldn't use, which is where the app came in, and I was actually able to send it to my phone, flip it, and then send it to my laptop to edit it, which is a whole mess. Luckily I did have the option to do that, but it's just a bunch of unnecessary steps that I wish I didn't have to do, you know? And even after I thought turned the setting off in the camera, it still continued to do that a few times. I haven't had trouble with it recently, but that's not to say that it's not going to happen again. Really, my only other dislikes have to be like the size of the lens. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it kind of bothers me how big it is going out in public. Something like a G7X is a little easier to hide and like just slip in your pocket. Not that it's like illegal to film in public, but like sometimes it can be embarrassing. But obviously that's just my own opinion. And I think that might be my only other like problem with the camera, other than it doesn't really have good grip for the wrist. So the big question, do I recommend this for a first camera for YouTube? Absolutely. It is a little pricey for a first camera. The kit in total, I think for me, came out to like $700, but in my opinion it is really worth it. But this is the catch. I would not buy it right at the start of your YouTube creation or content creation. I'd recommend you start with what you have, honestly. Start with your phone, tablet, laptop, old camera, whatever you can find. I would start with that, and then if you decide to keep with YouTube, then purchase it. But again, I do highly recommend this camera and this kit, even if it is pricey. I might not have a lot to compare it to, but from what I've seen in a lot of other cameras, just through videos and everything, this has just about everything you can ask for in a first camera. And I've obviously had a great experience with it, and I don't plan on upgrading or getting rid of it anytime soon, unless obviously it breaks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to subscribe to my channel and leave a like down below along with a comment letting me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you're considering getting the EOS M200 Canon Content Creator Kit, and also if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, or if I missed anything in this video. I'm more than welcome to answer any questions, comments, concerns, and help you decide if this camera is the best fit for you. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you all next week and in my next video. Bye! Here's where this comes in handy.